the chances go up even more. And I hate to see any woman, or honestly any person, deal with shit like this. But since we can't control the world, the only thing we can do is just control.
For real, what Ice Spice should have done was just to walk away when they was taking her away from the other girl away from her. Okay, I got another video for y'all. You already know. Alright, let's get into the video.
Now, Ice Spice was attacked by a woman at a McDonald's in Los Angeles the other day. And this story has been going viral because of who's involved. So, let's have a conversation about this. Yesterday, a story broke regarding an incident at a McDonald's in Hollywood involving Ice Spice. Basically, Ice Spice was out with a friend at a McDonald's in Hollywood, California, when a woman approaches her and asks, "Are you ready to shake ass?" Now, I'm assuming she said that because that's the kind of gimmick Ice Spice is known for. You know, the whole sexuality angle. However, it's still very weird, right? Approaching a stranger like that, you don't really know.
It's very
Ice Spice is
weird.
clearly confused and responds, "Ready to do what?"
Ready for what? Shake ass. You shake ass?
And from there, the situation quickly turns into a back and forth. Ice Spice tells the girl to go shake ass somewhere else and kind of is pointing away from her table.
That's what you do, you shake ass? So go shake ass. So you can tell me, so go shake ass.
Now the girl then leans in, keeps going back and forth with Ice, and then suddenly tries to smack her, but misses. Ice reacts very fast, gets up, stands on a seat, and starts defending herself while the situation gets physical. And this is really where things start to take a turn, because here's the thing. When Ice initially got there were already a group of people at the spot, so most likely some of these people were kind of like talking around each other. "Yo, Ice Spice is here at this McDonald's." And that's probably what brought this girl, the troublemaker, to the table in the first place. But here's where things get interesting. According to the girl, we'll just call her Troublemaker, she claims she went over there to compliment Ice Spice, and we know that because she did an interview with TMZ explaining her side of the story. However, what she was describing does not match what we saw.
I was with my friends and everything. We came from...
Yeah, she probably one of them streamer, well, not streamers, content creators that be shaking ass also. But she's not as popular as Ice Spice, so she garnered some hatred for Ice Spice because she thinks she looks better than her and whatnot, but she just don't have the type of audience that she has, obviously. But yeah, I mean, both of them do look good, but not my type, especially Ice Spice.
The beach earlier that night, and we decided to go walk around Hollywood. But before we did that, we decided to stop by McDonald's because we all had to use the bathroom. So then one of my friends, she comes out and she was like, "Oh, I think that's Ice Spice over there." And I'm like, "Oh, for real?" So I go up to them and I'm giving her and the other girl she was with compliment, and then immediately Ice Spice was just being rude. She was like, "Why are you over here? You could leave. Bye."
Let me stop you right there, ma'am. You are not entitled to somebody's energy just because you've seen them on the internet. She's trying to make it sound so innocent, like she just went over there to show some love, but that's not what we saw in the surveillance footage. What I saw, and you guys let me know if you saw something else, what I saw was somebody who came with a bunch of weird energy, a troublemaker, a hater, somebody not coming with any type of genuine intentions. And when Ice Spice didn't give this girl the reaction she wanted, she escalated things by trying to hit her. Now the situation kept spiraling because after Ice Spice defended herself and stood on business, shout out to Ice Spice, she actually chased the girl out of the restaurant. And I gotta give credit where it's due. She did not let herself get bullied, okay? And honestly, I think this girl forgot, man. Like, Ice Spice is from the Bronx. And if you know anything about people from New York, they don't play that shit. So now the situation continues outside.
What the happened? Why is that touching me? No, she's drunk, but just relax. Why would I relax if she's touching me? She's drunk. Where is she?
If you listen to Ice Spice's voice, she's visibly upset here, understandably, because she was just attacked. And she's outside, kind of looking for the girl, while people around her are trying to calm her down. And she's basically like, "Hell no, I'm not trying to relax."
Why would I let it go? What the f?
And this is where the situation takes another turn, because one of the guys there who seems to be with that group starts to step up to Ice. Basically, he's trying to fight her.
You gonna expect a nah. Wait, calm down, Mama. Let me fight her. Wait.
Now, mind you, she was just attacked by this woman, right? This random stranger lunatic. And now you got a grown man trying to square up with a woman? Come on, man. Now, later on in the video, Ice Spice actually ends up getting into a full-on scuffle with these people. Now, mind you, there's multiple people there. It's like this big group of just people. And one of the guys actually ends up attacking Ice Spice, so much to the point where she falls on the ground, which is absolutely disgusting and embarrassing. Like, what are we doing? Yo, this is such a messy situation. A grown man trying to fight a woman. Actually, a bunch of grown dudes trying to fight a woman. It's crazy, it's messy, it's fucking disgusting and embarrassing. The whole situation is just a full-on mess. And here's the thing, despite the situation, I gotta say, Ice Spice really stood on business. Like, she was defending herself relentlessly. She was not backing down at all. Now, Ice Spice's legal team actually responded to the situation, and they didn't hold back. They straight up described the situation as an unprovoked attack and made it clear they're going after everyone involved legally. The unprovoked attack on my client has been reported to the LAPD, and we will be pursuing any and all criminal and civil avenues to hold the perpetrators responsible for their actions, Cohen said. We're also exploring holding the location responsible for their apparent lack of appropriate security. Her lawyer continued and said, not to mention that the individuals involved obviously did not realize that we would get the video from inside the McDonald's where the unprovoked attack occurred. They then turned their cameras on after the initial attack as if to set our client up, and as they say on the video, to go viral. The only thing that will be going viral for them is their mugshots. Shout out to her lawyer, okay? Let's be real, this attacker girl was obviously clout chasing. She's a hater. Somebody who wanted a certain type of response from Ice Spice when she first approached her in a situation, and clearly when she didn't get what she wanted, she became the aggressor. She was looking for trouble. Now there's a couple things I want to talk about here, okay? First of all, this is something all of us can learn from, but especially anyone who has any level of visibility. I do want to mention the specific situation that Ice Spice found herself in. First of all, I understand Ice Spice was just out enjoying herself with her friend. Normal, right? She's a young woman who's trying to live her life. But we gotta be mindful of something, man. McDonald's in Los Angeles, when your name is Ice Spice, at this particular time, it looks a little late, right? Ain't the move, right? And I hate to say it like that, I really do. Because nobody should ever have to live in fear like this, right? I hate that this even happened to her. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. But when your name is Ice Spice, you're not a regular person anymore. Whatever you used to do in the past when you were not famous, like pulling up to a McDonald's with one person,
you can't do anymore.
You just cannot move like that. And again, I hate that it has to be like that, but there are way too many people out here who are straight up haters. As a matter of fact, Ice Spice went in there to get a Big Mac, but instead she got a Mac hater with a special side of angry YN sauce. We've seen so many of these situations happen before. I mean, just take a look at the PNB Rock situation. PNB Rock, like, most people know, was out in Los Angeles, sitting down, eating chicken and waffles at a spot with his girlfriend. She initially had posted a photo at the spot with the location, you know, not the best decision. But anyway, someone at the spot ended up recognizing him. They saw his jewelry, conspired to rob him. That's what they did. And they ended up shooting and killing him. And then you got the Nipsey Hussle situation. Nipsey Hussle's killer was the definition of a low-life, jealous hater. This was actually someone who basically envied him from way back in the day. They were even affiliated with the same gang. They had a conversation in the parking lot that same day. The dude leaves, drives around the block, loads up his gun, and then even had the audacity to stop and eat chili cheese fries. And then right after that, decides he's going to come back and kill him. And so that's what he did. He comes back and puts multiple shots into Nipsey. I think it was like 10, right there in broad daylight. And he took away Nipsey Hussle for nothing. And the reason why I'm bringing up those situations is to highlight how fast things can go left, especially when you're someone who has any level of recognition. Now, in Ice Spice's case, she's obviously not as relevant as she once used to be, right? Overall, she's kept a pretty low profile since her blow up. But she's still getting to the bag and she's still doing her thing like she should, right? And I feel like her...
But still, she still has an audience of haters and they want to see her eliminated sometimes.
At this McDonald's in Hollywood at that particular time and just how she was moving overall, a lot of that probably comes from the fact that she's not fully in the spotlight like before. So she might not feel like she needs to prioritize safety and security the same way she used to when she was really popular. But I'm going to say this straight up, man, that's the wrong approach, because unfortunately, there are a lot of haters out there. And if they catch you in person, they'll try to bother you, test you, provoke you. And sometimes that can escalate into something way worse. Sometimes for the hater, right? They can catch a few bullets, right? But sometimes the person that they're antagonizing ends up getting hurt. And in the worst cases, it leads to people losing their lives for nothing. I also want to bring up another aspect of this conversation. When you go from being in the spotlight to not being as hot as you once were, like in Ice Spice's case, the industry in general just doesn't feel as incentivized to ensure your safety the same way. You got to keep in mind, a lot of these artists, and Ice Spice was, this artist at one point, are basically walking investments to a lot of these record labels. Now, obviously, she still has value, and financially, she's probably always going to be fine. She's still getting to the bag even till this day, right? But when you're not generating the same level of money for the industry as you were before, a lot of times the label isn't going to care as much about things like protection for you. If you look at some of the biggest stars in music right now, let's just say someone like Sabrina Carpenter, extremely popular artist, right? I'm sure you've seen her face. When you see her out in public with security, a lot of times it's not even because she personally went out of her way to get it. It's because the people who are invested in her career monetarily are making sure their asset is protected. So what ends up happening is when an artist goes from being at this really high popularity level to a lower level of attention over time, you start seeing them pop out with little to no security, because they don't have that same feeling of, I need to stay protected at all times, because nobody around them is really emphasizing it anymore. But what people fail to realize is, in this case, a lot of artists, as long as you're walking on this earth, period, there's always a level of risk that comes with being a public figure and appearing anywhere. That's just how it is. That's the price. And this is exactly why most people, and I'm sure this is probably you, right, don't ever want to be famous or ever, they just don't want to be recognized like that. Honestly, is it really worth your piece? To most people, it's not, right? Now, if you're someone with a certain type of talent, you're going to want to market yourself publicly. And I'm not saying there aren't any benefits to it. Of course, there are. There's a lot of benefits to it. But what I'm saying is you can never forget that you're not a quote-unquote regular person. You can't just be at a McDonald's in Hollywood, Los Angeles, where the crazies are, where any crackhead off the street can walk in, pay for a cheeseburger, and now they're standing shoulder to shoulder with Ice Spice. You just can't do that. And I don't think it should be like that. It's not fair. But a lot of shit in life shouldn't be the way it is, and it still is. You feel me? So you gotta roll with the punches and take the good with the bad. Ice Spice is very successful. She got money, she built something for herself, and honestly, if this is one of the downsides of being as successful as she is, compared to struggling out here like the average person, I'd argue it's still a pretty good trade. I'm sure you would agree too. Also, a few safety measures I just want to point out. If you ever walk into a spot and somebody recognizes you, honestly, the smartest move is hop back in your car and go somewhere else. It's way too risky for people to know exactly where you are while you're there. Way too risky. Which is why if you're at a spot and you got some level of visibility, just make sure that if you're going to post, you don't post when you're there. You post like 2 hours later, or like I like to do it, I post when I'm on my flight back home. So there's levels to the paranoia, right?
Basically.
And here's the thing, right? Imagine if this was, let's say, a place with actual barriers. Like, those exclusive spots a lot of celebrities go to? There's a doorman, then an elevator, then another door, sometimes another layer after that. Every level you gotta pass through, that's a shield between you and the danger. A lot of people think celebrities go to those places because they think they're better than everyone. No. It's because they don't want to deal with situations like this. You don't really see a lot of very recognizable people just sitting down at a random fast food spot like this. Why? Because it leaves them way too vulnerable. There's no barrier, no protection, nothing separating you from the next random person walking in, which means you're way too accessible. Even the crackhead down the street can just walk in and rub shoulders with you, right? Most of these people, they pull up to the drive-thru. Half the time, they're not even the ones driving. They're in the back seat, kind of hiding. Someone orders for them, head down, they grab the food and go home and eat it back in the crib, away from all the shit. And that's really the reality of things. And I'm
just like with the Tupac and Biggie situation, just like with a lot of other situations, they got in, they was outside, they were vulnerable, and they got
just
caught
sharing
up.
the reality here, okay? This is not like some fairy tale. This is real life. I don't think it's fair that it has to be like that, but tell me one thing in life that's fair. Exactly.
None.
This actually reminds me of a recent situation that I heard about with a young popular streamer. I'm sure y'all know who it is. The young man who looks like a Calvin Klein model. Marlon, that's his name. He was recently out in the UK on a date with a girl, just sitting at a chicken spot eating, minding his own business, and then 4 dudes pull up on him. One of them had a Pooh Shiesty mask on.
Oh, I seen specs of this, but I didn't really look into it. Basically, I never really knew about that guy.
He recognized him, and according to Marlon, I think he said this, but one of these guys was carrying a knife, and they basically started pressing him, doing a bunch of goofy shit, going as far as insinuating that they were gonna do something to the girl he was with, like I guess like essaying her or something. I don't know, because he kind of did something with his hands that made it sound like he was gonna do that, right? It's so weird why people would be on shit like this. Like, it really just shows how jobless some people are. Like, they have no type of purpose, no direction, just out here looking for problems. Now, that situation ended up going viral the other day. And you're starting to see more and more of these situations involving public figures, particularly
because they get audience. They get a lot of audience for doing that shit. They get a lot of publicity for doing that shit, because a lot of people on social media like looking at drama like that, bro. But
on social media, a lot of these people are getting approached, pressed, bothered in public, and it's unfortunate. And I'm not gonna lie, it's something that concerns me as well, because obviously I have some level of visibility. I'm out here in these streets as well, right? Now, luckily, I haven't had to deal with anything like this in the past, but still, it's something I gotta be aware of. In the Marlon situation, he was actually doing the right thing here, and a lot of people were criticizing him for how he handled it, saying, oh, he should have started swinging on these guys, like, man, nobody would ever do that to me. But keep in mind the situation that he was in. You got 4 guys in front of you. One of them has a knife, like some kind of big knife, right? If you start making a bunch of sudden movements and you show them that you're on the same time that they are, best believe they're not going to think twice, and they will use that knife. And in that situation, you're also putting the woman you're with in this very dangerous situation. Obviously, in this particular clip with Marlon, you could see that the woman was very, very like afraid of what was going to happen, because obviously people like this, they have nothing to live for, which is why they did this to him. And now you're in a completely different situation, laying there in a pool of blood. A lot of times that can happen. It's so unfortunate that stuff like this even has to happen. But what a lot of people have to realize, and I'm specifically talking about, you know, anyone who has any type of recognition online, there are just certain places that you can be once you reach a certain level. And me personally, I'm always thinking about these things, right? I'm thinking about how I'm moving, where I'm going, which is why I stay away from stupid places with stupid people at stupid times. I'd rather just avoid it altogether. But at the same time, you can do every single thing right and still end up shoulder to shoulder with the unemployable, hot-headed, low-life haters crowd. Just people with nothing going on looking for a problem. And when it comes to taking precautions, it's not about being scared. It's just about not putting yourself in a position where you either have to fight for your life or you end up hurting somebody in the process. And now you're dealing with a whole other basket of lemons. Is that a saying? I guess the lesson from this whole situation is people are weird. And it's unfortunate that others have to deal with these types of low-level scum of the earth individuals. I'm sure you've came across a lot of people like this in your day-to-day life, right? But at the same time, if your name is Ice Spice, just understand this. No matter how much your relevancy might feel like it's going down, you can never be too safe, especially as a woman in this world. I mean, being a woman alone already puts you at a risk of dealing with certain types of violence. But then you add being recognizable on top of that, the chances go up even more. And I hate to see any woman, or honestly any person, deal with shit like this. But since we can't control the world, the only thing we can do is just control.
For real, what Ice Spice should have done was just to walk away when they was taking her away from the other girl, away from her. The best thing to do was just walk away, basically. Because, yeah, it wasn't good for them to fight her at the end, but in order, if she would have walked away right after the fact that they was taking her, that other woman, away from her, they would have there wouldn't be another situation going on with her. She would get her place and she'd be good, basically. Because if she would have walked away, there wouldn't be anybody trying to fight her at that current situation. So, yeah.
Ourselves and move with a level of awareness and discernment that allows us to make it back home safe. Because the reality is, some of us are going to end up in situations where we have to protect ourselves. If you ever find yourself in a situation like that, what I hope is that you make it back home safely without things going further than it needs to go. And it's just so sad that we even have to walk the same ground as people like this. Anyway, if you made it this far, drop a like on this video. Subscribe if you're new here. My name is Blackie Speaks. Nice to meet you. Let me know what you guys think about this particular topic regarding Ice Spice getting attacked at McDonald's. Crazy story. At the end of the day, man, it's just so unfortunate that we even got...
Yeah, let me know how y'all feel about this situation, what I could have said better and whatnot, if I said anything wrong. Sub, like, comment. My name is Def Media Reacts. I have another channel. You see that link tree on the side of me? Go to that shit, and yeah, you will see all my platforms. I got a gaming platform on Twitch, YouTube, and Kick. I post a lot. I post some of my stuff on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. So yeah, I'm really out here trying to get myself out there, basically. But yeah, I'll see y'all later. Def Media React is out.
That's when I smack the shit out you. I smack the shit out you. Hey yo, niggas get cocky when they get a little change. They buy a car for gas, they need a little change. They never on the front line, they stay the middleman, picking dollars off the floor after you done made it rain. And women always throwing hits when they rent due. And I throw a hit right back. What the fuck you gon' do?